This is the Hello World podcast. You mentioned top level in
Yep.
my work with clients, Peter. Several times I would hear that it's the top level who actually is perceived as barriers to psychological safety. Have you also ever come across that in your practice?
Definitely. And it's part of the nature of the job, right? If you're a CEO in a large organization, it takes a certain personality type to get to that level, right? And unfortunately, amongst that group, there are some who wouldn't focus very much on psychological safety. But in the end, most CEOs have the interests of the company at heart, and they have the interest of the people at heart, because you can't do anything without your people. And I think increasingly, in a time where innovation is needed, people understand more and more that you cannot just treat a person as an object to do a piece of work. You need the whole person, the personality they bring, the background they bring, the experiences they bring, because that brings a richness to a team that you can't get if everyone's the same.
I like what you mentioned there. You cannot just treat somebody as a work unit, right? Who will
Yes.
just produce work volume. So before management or an individual leader can act, it really makes sense to go through that the diagnostic experience. How's the investment in time and money, Peter? Just for those who may be thinking of, I want that instrument too for my company.
Well, that's something we'd have to individually assess the company. So really look at the size of the company, what they do, how complex they are. So I can't really give anything off the top of
Okay.
my head, but it's not a quick fix, right? The
Mhm.
diagnosis, it can be done quickly, but if there are problems with psychological safety, you can't fix them overnight, because they're a team. It's a measure of the team, really. And that means you have to work with the individuals in the team. But the results are worthwhile. I mean, the World Health Organization has assessed that for every dollar you spend improving the mental health of an employee, which includes psychological safety, you get a 4 times return on that. So, there's just in terms of increased productivity, there's a massive financial gain to be made.
4 times.
4 times,
Okay.
400%.
Mhm. So just yep, that psychological safety as a lever, as a key driver. Yeah. Here's where you have human resources and taking care of your people can actually translate to financial benefits. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you called it a lever, a key driver. That's absolutely right. In statistical terms, they call it a leading indicator. So
Mhm.
when your psychological safety rises, so does your productivity, engagement, physical safety, and even revenue. So they are all driven by that, which is why it's so fundamentally important.
You just emphasized, Peter, how why companies should invest time and money into improving this, because I assume a lot of leaders will look at psychological safety as a soft concept. You know how it goes to
Yes.
most C-suite will just say employee engagement, no, soft side of the business. But now you're giving here lots of facts, no, and figures that would change their minds
Yes.
into now looking at this as a leading indicator that could impact bottom line on the business.
And I remember from your course that I attended, speaking to CEOs, you said the primary interest in the CEO is a financial measure, right? So when we're talking to CEOs about this, we can stress that financial measure. But increasingly, CEOs look at the ethical side of business as well, right? So you think of this as the right thing to do as well. And when you look at things like diversity, you know, employees who are diverse. So we're talking different cultural backgrounds, but also maybe employees who are differently abled, those who are neurodiverse, perhaps those on the autism spectrum, who bring, a particular set of extremely intense skills to work.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who are most vulnerable to feeling psychologically unsafe because they're already feeling a bit on the outside. But if they can be feeling part of the team, really feeling included, feeling that they can learn, they can contribute, their set of skills that's diverse and unique can really add so much value to an organization.
So that's how this concept of psychological safety is very much linked to another phrase that we hear so often in organizations: diversity
Yeah.
and inclusion.
Hi, this is Louis Banta, CEO and Chief Consultant of LJMB, or Learning Just Made Better. Thanks for watching my video. To get more videos like this, click subscribe and hit the bell icon below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and share this to others.